Hello, I am Aviva reporting live in Jerusalem from room 552 for Israel 24/6 TV. Today is the 15th of May, 2008. Welcome to this second edition of Fact Not Commentary. This edition is based upon my eyewitness coverage of the action taken today by Women in Green, who, along with a few dozen supporters, entered the abandoned Israel Defense Force post Shdema early this morning. Shortly after the group arrived, they began receiving assorted supplies which were to be used in cleaning some of the abandoned barracks and for laying a foundation on the site. Several soldiers were waiting at Shdema for the group and politely yet quickly began ordering the group to leave. Members of the Women in Green and other supporters of Zionism, in fact, did not leave, but rather began sweeping the abandoned barracks and posing with signs in English and Ivrit with Zionistic slogans. Other members of the group chatted, while still others picked up brooms and hose to clean refuse and rocks out of the barracks, which were in fact devoid of all military equipment and personal belongings. The only item I saw which had at one time been personal property, what had been abandoned, was a CD lying broken in the desert sand with Arabic titles by Mustafa Kamel. And even though it is a hot, breezy day here in Israel, the air at Shdema was soon filled with the smell of spray paint being used to paint messages onto the walls of those abandoned barracks. Repeated often in Ivrit, the words Shdema, Ir Yehudit, or translated Shdema, City of Jews, and Eretz Yisrael, Lam Yisrael, or translated the land of Israel to the people of Israel, and Hashem Hu HaMelech, or translated God, He is the King, bedecked the walls of several barracks prior to my departure. Ladies took turn painting the messages on those walls. One young mother held her baby, who at one point reached out and touched the barrack walls while her mother painted words in Ivrit. And the same young mother strolled her baby over to the hole dug, representing a new foundation for Shdema. The hole was then filled with a pungent-smelling tar and concrete mixture, which was then covered with several large rocks. All the while, soldiers who had obviously been commanded to stand down but maintain a presence could be seen circulating on the hills just above the demonstrators from Women in Green. A few policemen also joined the soldiers as the morning sun continued its journey to the west. And even though the atmosphere was occasionally tense, I did not witness any violence from the Israel Defense Force or the police directed at the Jewish civilians from Women in Green, who decided that civil disobedience was the most effective way to get their message across to the government of the sovereign state of Israel. An energetic organizer for Women in Green, activist Nadia Matar, stated that the action was taken due to a recent announcement by Deputy Defense Minister Matan Vilne that the Israeli government has slated Shdema and surrounding Hekdarim as a parcel of land to be turned over to the Arab population in that area. Ms. Matar also confirmed that the soldiers did physically escort the group out of Shdema and then lifted them into waiting military trucks. They were escorted by the Israel Defense Force to their automobiles and told to leave the area. Ms. Matar did also confirm that there was no violence at all today at any point during the demonstration. And that concludes this edition a fact, not commentary. I am Aviva Lee, reporting live in Jerusalem from room 552 for Israel 24/6 TV. Please check back later this evening for my comments and brief coverage of President George W. Bush and Mrs. Bush in Israel. Thank you and shalom.